is a prince of the vampire clan, arrogantly unmatched. The girl, on the other hand, is just a simple commoner, yearning for a peaceful existence. However, fate played a colossal joke on their encounter. During her childhood, the vampire clan reigned with tyranny. In order to ensure the survival of herself and her younger brother, the parents chose to sacrifice themselves and divert the attention of the vampires. As soon as their mother stepped outside, a harrowing scream pierced the air. The two cowered in fear, hiding behind the door. The girl tightly covered her brother's mouth with her hand, barely daring to breathe. Her trembling heart lost its support, quivering in desperation. With great effort, she suppressed her fear and peered through the crack of the door, her eyes brimming with tears. She witnessed a person with blood-red eyes standing outside the door. Suddenly, the girl jolted awake. This hauntingly vivid dream refused to dissipate. She often unintentionally fell asleep in the classroom. It was getting late, and she prepared to head home. Just as she reached the doorway, the music teacher called out to her, requesting assistance in delivering some materials to the music room. Before long, she arrived at the entrance of the music room. As she pushed open the door, she froze. The vampire prince was inside. The girl barely had time to think as she quickly closed the door and turned to run. However, she was stopped by a hand before she could get far. The prince, infuriated, looked at her and exclaimed, "No one has ever dared to disregard me." She tried to break free from his filthy grip but failed. At that moment, she witnessed a horrifying scene and struggled even harder. Memories began to surface, recalling the person she saw through the crack of the door when her parents were brutally murdered. She exerted all her strength and fiercely slapped the prince across the face. The prince touched his face, seeing the blood on his hand, and his eyes instantly turned red, completely consumed by rage. She realized the trouble she was in. The prince forcefully pulled her outside and shouted loudly to the people on campus, "Listen up, everyone. From this day forward, this woman is my enemy. Stop when I am satisfied." These words caused an uproar throughout the entire campus, as everyone prepared to witness the spectacle. Never before had anyone been considered an enemy by the vampire prince. In this moment, she sat helplessly on the ground, overwhelmed with sadness, continuously pondering what she should do. After a moment of contemplation, she suddenly stood up, clenched her teeth, and turned to run. To her surprise, the prince did not stop her. However, what she never expected was that escaping would only mark the beginning of a true nightmare. Just as she managed to escape from the clutches of the vampire prince, she was intercepted by another group of people. She couldn't comprehend why these individuals obediently followed the vampire's orders. She questioned her classmates, "Have you all willingly surrendered, forsaking even a shred of human dignity?" The woman leading the group seized her by the hair and said, "Does dignity feed us in this world anymore?" After speaking, she relentlessly pushed and shoved the girl. In that moment, the girl seized the opportunity, turned around, and ran. She managed to escape, but her body was covered in bruises and wounds. She thought to herself, "It seems from now on, it's better to run for school and back home, to avoid being cornered by those people." Before the girl could catch her breath, she was discovered once again. She suddenly heard someone say, "What a coincidence! Isn't this the woman who offended Lord Roy before?" 3 individuals lecherously approached her, saying, "Why don't we also contribute our efforts? Rest assured, we'll satisfy Lord Roy." The 3 of them approached and grabbed the girl, pressing her against the wall. And the girl swiftly turned and ran. Just as she was about to escape, she was tripped by an umbrella. At the moment she fell, the person behind her laughed. The girl fell heavily, blood flowing from her head. Initially, she believed that enduring would make it pass, but her blind resistance only fueled the perpetrator's escalating cruelty. The girl was brought to a warehouse and thrown onto a bed, while the 4 individuals contemplated how to punish her. Melissa approached, pinching the girl's face as she examined her, and remarked, "Indeed, you're not at all pleasing to the eye." She then turned to her 3 male accomplices and said, "You may do as you wish." Punish her in any way you please." At that moment, Prince Lord Roy arrived, witnessing the heavily injured girl. He furiously shouted, "Outrageous! How dare you lay a hand on my people?" Everyone turned around and was shocked to see that Prince Lord Roy